The PGA Tour's regular season finale has turned into a nightmare. 7 players have withdrawn from the Wyndham Championship since the field was announced, and the exodus has left fans demanding answers. From a $66 million star to a FedEx Cup bubble player fighting for his season, the chaos at Sedgefield Country Club has the golf world in panic mode. The final regular season event was supposed to be a dramatic finish. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale of a tour struggling to keep its stars engaged. Patrick Cantlay had committed to the Wyndham Championship early, and with the FedEx Cup playoffs on the line, his presence added real weight to an already stacked field at Greensboro. Then, without warning, he was gone. Cantlay became the 5th player to withdraw from the Wyndham Championship since the field was announced at the traditional PGA Tour Friday deadline. The 8-time PGA Tour winner, who has earned more than $66 million in official PGA Tour money, gave no official reason for his withdrawal. The timing couldn't have been worse. Cantlay had just come off one of his strongest stretches in years. He tied for 7th at the Valspar Championship, tied for 8th at the RBC Heritage, and added a tie for 10th at the Truist Championship. He even shared the 36-hole lead at the Rocket Classic last week before finishing tied for 8th. But that's exactly why the withdrawal was so shocking. Cantlay entered the week ranked 41st in the FedEx Cup standings, a position that already locks him into the FedEx St. Jude Championship and the BMW Championship regardless of what happens in Greensboro. He had nothing to gain and potentially nothing to lose. Ben Silverman inherited Cantlay's spot in the field. It was the 2nd time this summer that Silverman benefited from a marquee withdrawal after stepping into the Rocket Classic field when Brooks Koepka pulled out. The man who was one of the tournament's favorites simply walked away, and nobody knows why. Cantlay's exit wasn't just about one player. It was about a growing trend that has the PGA Tour in big trouble. Stars who have nothing to gain from the regular season finale simply choosing to skip it. Had Cantlay arrived in Greensboro, he would have been one of the tournament's favorites alongside Cameron Young and Justin Thomas. Instead, he joined a growing list of players who decided that rest was more valuable than competition. Michael Thorbjornsen made a similar calculation. The Rocket Classic winner, who secured his playoff spot with his maiden PGA Tour title, chose rest over another cross-country trip. Justin Lower took his place in the field. For Thorbjornsen, the decision made sense. He entered the week ranked 69th in FedEx Cup points, right on the playoff cut line. The victory locked up his spot in the postseason and pushed him inside the top 50 in the world. He had nothing left to prove. But for Cantlay, the stakes were different. He was already locked into the playoffs. He had already secured his spot in the BMW Championship and next year's signature events. He simply didn't need to be there. The message was clear. For players who have already made it, the Wyndham Championship doesn't matter. And that's a problem for the PGA Tour. Cantlay wasn't the only veteran to walk away. Kristoffer Reitan, who sat comfortably inside the top 20 in the FedEx Cup standings, withdrew. Fellow Norwegian Kristoffer Ventura took his place. Brendon Todd, a 4-time PGA Tour winner, pulled out. Matt Kuchar, the 2019 Players Champion, was brought in to replace him. Dan Brown, who made his tournament debut in Detroit, withdrew. Lanto Griffin replaced him. Then came Tuesday, August 4th. Garrick Higgo and Daniel Berger followed Cantlay out the door. Neither explained why. Higgo's withdrawal ended his FedEx Cup season outright. The South African sat 163rd in the standings entering the week, already eliminated from playoff contention regardless of how he performed at Sedgefield. It has been a rough stretch for the 27-year-old, who made headlines in May at the PGA Championship after missing his tee time at Aronimink and drawing a 2-shot penalty. Berger's situation looked different on paper. The four-time PGA Tour winner sits 58th in the standings, a position that already secures his playoff spot no matter what happens this week. He has not competed since a disappointing showing at the Open Championship 3 weeks ago, missing the cut in 4 of his last 5 starts. The veterans are walking away, and the Tour can't afford to lose them. If the withdrawals weren't enough, the field also includes a player who desperately needs this tournament, Brooks Koepka. And his situation is a cautionary tale for any LIV player considering a return to the PGA Tour. Koepka entered the Wyndham Championship ranked 86th in the FedEx Cup standings. He needs at least a 4th-place finish to make the top 70 and keep his season alive. It's a tall task considering he has only won top 10 all season. This is Koepka's first full season back on the PGA Tour following 4 years competing on LIV Golf. Under the terms of his return agreement, he cannot accept sponsor exemptions into signature events next year unless he finishes inside the top 50 in the FedEx Cup standings. If he doesn't make the playoffs, he is back where he began in 2026. The 5-time major champion, who was all the talk back in January when he became the first player to rejoin the PGA Tour from LIV Golf, is now fighting for his postseason life. Brooks Koepka is playing for his future, and the odds are against him. Not everyone on the bubble is running away. Blades Brown, the 19-year-old who earned special temporary membership on the PGA Tour in June, had a choice to make last week. He chose the Korn Ferry Tour stop in Utah over the Rocket Classic, prioritizing long-term status over short-term cash. This week, Brown returns to the PGA Tour on his own FedEx Cup points rather than a sponsor exemption. He ranks 3rd in FedEx Cup season points among non-members and needs somewhere in the range of 500 to 600 more points, or to hold his current rank, to lock up a full PGA Tour card for 2027. The 19-year-old is betting on himself, and the golf world is watching. The Wyndham Championship withdrawals aren't just about this week. They're about a larger issue that has the PGA Tour in big trouble. Players are picking and choosing their events, and the regular season finale has become an afterthought for those who have already secured their playoff spots. Brian Rolapp has guided the Tour through enormous change in recent years, including the dramatic rollout of a 2-track system that will go into effect in 2028. The new model is designed to create scarcity, simplicity, and parity, with Championship and Challenger Series tracks, 90 tour cards, and the elimination of sponsor exemptions. But the Wyndham Championship's struggles suggest that the current model is already failing. When 7 players withdraw from the final regular season event, it's a sign that the tournament has lost its significance. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Will the Tour's new 2-track system make the regular season finale more meaningful? Or will it simply create a bigger gap between the haves and have-nots?